Indian Polity by Lakshmi Kant, which is one of the basic book in preparation of Indian Civil Service examination. Today let's discuss another important component in it. The Vice President, who occupies the second highest post according to the Constitution of India. His office is molded on the lines of American Vice President. That means the Indian and American Vice President is almost same. But at the time of elections, he is elected by the Electoral College consist of both houses of Parliament. But before 1961, as the original constitution drafted by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar says that the elections of the Vice President should be elected by the two houses of the Parliament assembled at a joint meeting. But this procedure was changed by the 11th Constitution Amendment Act of 1961, even though it is different from presidential elections in two manners. It consists of both elected and nominated members of Parliament and doesn't include the members of State Legislative Council. But in presidential elections, the elected members are eligible to vote and the members of State Legislative Assembly are also included. This is because he also influenced the administration at state level. But it is not necessary to call the State Legislative at Vice President elections. Functions of Vice President of India. There are two major functions of the Vice President. They are to preside over the Council of States and the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Both Vice President and presidential elections are held in the same manner, that is by proportional representation, by means of single transferable vote, and voting is done by secret ballots. And let's come to qualifications to be the Vice President of India. To be eligible for the election as Vice President, a person should fulfill the following qualification. He should be the citizen of India and he should be above 35 years of age. He should not hold any office of profit. He should be qualified for election as a member of Rajya Sabha. For further nomination of a candidate for election to the office of Vice President, he must be subscribed by at least 20 MPs as proposers and 20 MPs as seconders. Along with these, every candidate should has to make a security deposit of 15,000 in the RBI. And this is mainly due to eliminate non-serious candidates. And the oath and affirmation of Vice President contains to bear the true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, to faithfully discharge duties of his office, and administration of the oath of Vice President was taken by the President or the person appointed by him. Conditions of the office. He should not be member of any parliamentary or the state legislature. If so, he was deemed to be resigned from that post when he took the oath of Vice President. And he should not hold any other office of profit. Terms of the office. The Vice President holds the office for 5 years. Unlike the President, a formal impeachment is not required for his removal. He can be removed by a resolution of Rajya Sabha passed by an absolute majority, and that must be agreed by the Lok Sabha. But no such resolution can be moved unless at least 14 days advance notice has been given. Notably, no ground has been mentioned in the Constitution for his removal. Here is an interesting fact about Vice President. He can hold his office beyond his term of 5 years until his successor assumes the charges as new Vice President of India, and he also can be re-elected. Vacancy in the office of Vice President. Vacancy in the office of Vice President, and this happens by expiry of his tenure of 5 years, by his removal, death and resignation, and finally disqualified to hold the office due to a scam in elections. Until now, Krishnakant was the only Vice President who died in his office. In the year 2002, any dispute in the election of Vice President is supervised by the Supreme Court, and that decision is final. If a person was elected as Vice President and interfered in law making and implementation of it, and later his election was declared void, then that law which is made by him is continued in the nation. But the election of a person as a Vice President cannot be challenged on the grounds that the Electoral College was incomplete. Powers and functions of Vice President of India. In these regards, the Indian and American Vice President shares the similar functions. And then the powers of the Vice President. When suddenly the presidential post becomes vacant due to any reason, he can act as a president only for a maximum period of 6 months, within which the new president should be appointed. and he acts as the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Powers and functions are similar to those of Lok Sabha Speaker. Further, when the sitting president is unable to hold his functions due to illness or by any other situation, the vice president discharges his functions and act as president until the president resumes to his office. At this moment, the deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha acts as the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Look at this example. The Vice President, Dr. S. Radhakrishna, hold the functions of the President in June 1960, when the President Dr. Rajendra Prasad was on a 15 days tour to USSR, and this was repeated when the same President fell ill in 1961. The salary and allowances to the Vice President are described and decided by the Parliament in a time-to-time basis, and at present the complete salary of the Vice President is over 4 lakhs per month, and he gets the salary of chairman of Rajya Sabha, which is over 1,25,000. And in 2008, the Indian Parliament increased this from 40,000 to 1.25 lakhs. And in addition, he is entitled to the daily allowances of free furnished residence, medical, travel, and all other facilities. During any period when the Vice President acted as President, he is not entitled to the salary and allowances payable to the Chairman of Rajya Sabha, but the salary and allowances payable to President of India. Like, share, and subscribe.